I go into the den and my son is standing there in front of our big screen TV and he's like this with his hand on the screen and he's going like this. It gets better. 1.5 years old, so very limited vocabulary. He looks back at me and he goes, "Dada, broken." I'm broken. The best is after that he said, "Angry Birds," which I thought was hilarious. My wife, not so much. There are these 5 movements that have fundamentally changed business forever that most brands are doing absolutely nothing about. What we have to do is accept a new world. And I call the new world the one-screen world. The only screen that matters is the screen that's in front of me. We have a mobile strategy, we have a social strategy, we have a web strategy, we have an e-commerce strategy. All you need is a one-screen world strategy because we are in that world. And every day that you wake up, you have to figure out what you are going to do as a brand to connect your consumer to that brand in that world. Most businesses, as digital as some of you may be, it is still philosophically, from a marketing communications connected standpoint to customers, an area of purgatory. So you're testing, you're learning, you're trying, you're doing, budgets are shifting, but you're not fundamentally where that customer is or needs to be. And so when I ask you, what are you doing about this? Some people will say, well, we've got, some planning that we're doing this year, and the next year we should be in market with some of this stuff. 2 years? The iPad didn't exist 4 years ago. Do you think you're gonna make it? You need to be bold right now in how you're engaging with your consumers and how you're thinking about how you're connecting those brands through to them. And so what we've seen is that sort of social graph go that's both virtual become very, very physical. And I think it's really challenging for businesses to understand this hyper-connected, completely untethered consumer and what that means in this new construct. Everything really has changed. And so, yeah, for me, it really is a reboot for most businesses because they have to reimagine what it's like to sell to this consumer that is very much what I call that digital first posture. You watch a couple of kids who are shopping, and if you're stupid enough to think that that's just 2 people, you've lost your mind. Those 2 people who are shopping together are 5,000 people. Because they're connected. Digital is physical, physical is digital. They're texting, they're sharing, they're linking, they're doing stuff. The conversation is completely evolved beyond the physicality into these digital realms. And that's an amazing place to be. Over 30% of all the traffic we're now seeing to these sites is coming from mobile devices, 30%. And you suddenly start saying, like, why am I downloading and hogging up these hard drives with all this data? When if ever I need anything, it's just there. Look at the Netflix model. It's a great example. It's a subscription-based. You don't own the physical movie. Why would you want to own the physical movie when for $10 a month you can have access to every movie? The smartest businesses are figuring out how to target customers as actual individuals now, not just the demographics and the psychographics of it. One company is entrepreneurial in that they are trying to invent the future that does not yet exist, versus another company that's simply trying to mitigate and minimize risk against their innovation. Do you understand the difference? You have to figure out when you walk out of this room in a one-screen world which company you want to either be or which company you want to work for, because that's the reality of this world and what it means. And brands have to make a very serious attempt to understand how they're going to capture that direct relationship in relation to that physical device that's always on us. And it's not easy, and it's way more complex than it ever was, and there's more channels than it ever was. For those of you who see this and get completely scared, ridiculousness. It's never been a better time to be a professional in business than right now.
It's a human vision, legacy we want to leave behind us.